I will be representing those people who are just way too serious, because we received a complaint and a question that said, what if you are the parent who is more fun than your kids, and your kids are all about the rules and structure and they're boring, and you would like to have more fun? What does parenting look like then? And this is not just in parenting that we received this complaint, because of course, if you are in a team at work and you are a fun-loving optimist whose glass is always half full, and you're surrounded by pessimists and people who can find the dark cloud even when the silver lining is in your face, then you also want to know how to deal with these people who just have a knack for the negative. Now, we are going to address that today, and we're addressing it from my counseling room, where all the evidence is present, if you look around this room, that I am that super serious person. So I'm going to try, because this is who I am, to give you some guidance of how to live with me and my clan, the rule-loving serious people. Because when I probably had about my fourth counseling session in here, when a spunky little kid just said, "Do you have anything fun in this room?" And I realized that I had a desk, a chair, and another chair, and pretty much blank walls. And I'm seeing kids in this space. I mean, really. So I went shopping and I was very proud of myself. I got crazy Legos, and now I get wonderful, fun creations by fun people, and beautiful scenes that they build for me, because these kids have fun written all over them. But today we're talking about your tree type and frowns. And so frown is more what I do, and the kind of things that I associate with fun are things like dot-to-dot books, where you have to be creative by following the rules because you have to connect the dots in the correct order, preferably with perfectly straight lines, or you don't get a good outcome. Now, that's kind of my idea of fun, which is not very exciting. So let's just get it out of the way and say the fun people are the palm trees. We already know that, but let's just give it to them again today. They are the most fun, and if you have palm trees somewhere in your combination, awesome. Now you need to listen, because here are some ways you can turn our frown upside down and maybe get us to loosen up and lighten up a little bit. Now the us's that I'm talking about that resist your fun and your spunk are the boxwood trees. Those are the number one perpetrators. I will own it. And then also the number two perpetrator would be the rosebush, who needs to be all grown up and get stuff done. That's already a little clue for you. And then the pines, who just think that all of this fun is maybe a little bit too wild, and they don't associate having fun with being safe. And so that's maybe their number one complaint. So let's unpack that with some commandments that the different unfun trees would want to give you today, to just understand us. And maybe if you keep to these commandments, you will get us to get on board with the fun that you have planned, whether it's in the workplace or at home. So let's start with those boxwoods that I said are our perpetrators number one. So the commandments of a boxwood is, "Thou shalt give me fair warning." So this is important. They kind of need a sign that says fun heading your way. Get ready, get the important stuff done. Get out of your stiff suit and get ready to have fun. So you need to warn them that you've got some fun lined up. Don't surprise them with fun. We don't like that kind of a surprise. We're not going to join you if we can't prepare ourselves and kind of get warmed up and switched off from the work mindset into the fun mindset. So thou shalt give us fair warning. Number two, thou shalt stick to the rules even in a game. Super important. The fun goes away when you cheat, and when you don't wait your turn, and when you don't give me a proper turn. So super important. Thou shalt stick to the rules. And then lastly, thou shalt not be dangerously wild. because we catastrophize. We see somebody running fast. We know they're either going to fall, somebody else is going to come around the corner in their blind spot, and there's going to be a head-on collision, and then there's going to be death or paralysis or permanent injury of some sort. We go to that space, and we go to that space during wild fun. So when the fun is under control, we kind of, okay. So if any of you have ever played Dutch Blitz, then you will know that that's a wild game. That's a super wild game, but I love it. And the reason I love it is there are rules. And even though people are wild, they're not running around. They're sitting around the table most of the time. Now, some people do fly out of their seats, but in general, I know that injuries are probably not that likely. And if they are not life-threatening. So I can handle Dutch Blitz because I knew the game was coming. I'm walking into a game's night, eyes wide open. So you kept to commandment number 1. I was forewarned, and now you stick to the rules, and then it's not too wild when full, serious bodily harm is not in the pipeline. Okay, the next person, those would be the rose bushes. Now, the reason they don't always want to join your fun is they will not get involved in fun where they can't win. So if this is so that's commandment number 1. Thou shalt allow me a chance to win. They will often not join your game if they can't figure out a way to dominate it. That is, probably the number 1 reason why rose bushes don't participate in fun. And then number 2, thou shalt not make me lose face or dignity. And this is something the box would share with them, but the reason the rose bushes don't want to lose face or dignity is because they want to be perceived as competent, intelligent, kind of the boss people. Boss people don't want to be humiliated in front of a group of people. So you will see rose bushes very reluctantly participating in these icebreaker games and these group interactive stuff in workshops. It's not their cup of tea because there's the chance that you, as a facilitator organizing all of this fun, that you're going to turn them into the punchline of this whole thing. And they want to know exactly what the point is of this. So that's commandment number 3. There shall be a point to this fun. That's the rosebush version of commandment number 3, because I want to know what the point of this is. If you are going to unpack this or have a moral story after this, I'm probably not going to play. There needs to be something in it for me, and it needs to make sense to me. So you'll sometimes have to say, we are going to play this, and the purpose of this is so that we can get to know this couple better, because we have to work with them. Or we are going to play this game because we are all stressed, and we need to de-stress. Or we're going to go play this game because somebody needs to expend some energy to be in a better mood. So explain the reason, because there shall be a point. The third group are our pine trees. Now, with fun, their first rule is thou shalt not be too competitive. They do not enjoy being number 1. And that we've already discussed in a previous conversation. They don't need to go first, be first, or do things for the first time. They're not energized by that. But they don't want to be confronted with a scenario of constant competition between winners and losers, and people being sore losers, and people attacking each other to figure out who won. That's not fun for them at all when it's going to be competitive. So that is something to keep in mind with a pine. Make sure that it's a game where the bottom line is not a winner. The bottom line is some sort of fun, some sort of exploration, some sort of thing done together, or maybe just chilling, which is their favorite point to doing anything fun. Number 2, thou shalt not make me sweat. Now, most pine trees are not the sweaty type. Now, I have met some pine trees who are marathon runners and who really enjoy physical activity, but they are in the minority. Research tells us that pine trees have the lowest expendable energy in any 24-hour cycle of all the personality types, and they don't want to burn out today. And if your game looks like it's going to use 99% of their available energy for today, you're going to have to make a pretty good case to get them to join you. it may not work, especially if you now want to do this in the evening, or you want to do this in the morning if they are a night person. If you don't hit them with this game when their biorhythm is ready for you, forget about it. So know their energy levels and expect their energy levels, and don't expect them to give you everything they've got for their day, unless it's that 1 in 10 pine trees who really enjoys physical exertion. They are a rare breed. I hope this is helpful for you. Give us grace if we are not your fun-loving people as much as you are. We do enjoy having our frown turned around, and you can do it if you stick to our commandments. Have fun, and leave us out of it.